John, is your mic okay?
I don't know.
Save it for the podcast.
It has a thing covering
Save it for the podcast.
Hello.
We'll fix it in post. Welcome to Culturally Canceled with me, Russell Peters. Today, my guest is my dear friend. I love him dearly. Jonathan Michael Lovitz.
That's my name, legally.
And he is a billionaire from comedy.
Well, I mean, that's, a little low estimate, frankly.
So this is what it is, John. We just hang out. There's no real
I started doing shows intergalactically. I'm the first comedian, so I literally have made trillions.
I've heard good things.
In Bitcoin.
So I made John travel all the way out here from his palace in Bel Air to his childhood area.
Not saying where I live. I don't live in Bel Air, but it's interesting without revealing where you live, or do you reveal that?
I mean, it's not hard to find out where I live.
Well, I grew up in the valley, you see, and I worked in a pharmacy. My dad was a doctor. Anyway, the point is, when I was 16, I got a job as a delivery boy, delivering, the
drugs,
prescription drugs to the people that lived where you live. So I know this street. All these streets I used to know like the back of my hand.
And now that your hands changed,
it's like I'm back where I was when I was 16. Only I'm at your house.
So it's like 1986 all over again.
No, like 1973.
Same. Do you know that I told you this before, but people don't know this about me, but before I started doing stand-up, I used to do impressions of Lovitz at clubs to pick up chicks.
Didn't you say I was the first impression you did?
You were the first impression I did.
When you were 15, I remember.
When were you on SNL? What years?
85 to 90.
Yep. All those years I was doing
1885.
Pre-Lauren.
Lauren was a zygote.
In his great,
I did the show with his great-grandfather. And then I got hired again by him.
Hey, what's his real last name again? Lipschitz? Or is that Ralph Lauren? Isn't Ralph Lauren?
Yeah, Ralph. I think they're both that.
They both Lipschitz, right?
No, Ralph Lauren is Ralph Lipschitz, and Lauren was Lipowitz. By the way, did you know, my dear friend Penny Marshall, God bless her soul, she went to high school in the, the Bronx, and she went to high school with Ralph Lauren and Calvin Klein. And they're on the same high school.
And Gary Marshall went there too, I would imagine.
Yeah.
No. Did you meet Penny Marshall from working with her? Or did you know her before that?
No, I met her the very first thing I did on Saturday Night Live, and Madonna was the host, and we were shooting a short film for the show. That's the first thing I did for the show. And we're in Central Park at 2 a.m, and we're on a break, and Penny was there, and that's when I met her. And a week later, she gave everybody a lunchbox. I got a Night Rider lunchbox, and
from Madonna,
from Penny, and it was a note said, here's your Saturday Night Live survival kit, and inside was like Maalox and aspirin, all this stuff, and I didn't understand it at the time, but later on I knew what it meant. And then after I did my first show, and they have cue cards, so I thought I could look at the card really quick and look back, and you wouldn't see it. And you see my eyes darting, back and forth.
Doing this.
Yeah. And she called me. She goes, "Learn your lines." I go, "Why?" She goes, "I can see your eyes going back and forth." I go, "You can't? Oh, you can see that? I thought I could beat it. No, you can't." And then, she just was great to me. And then after my first year, she goes, "Oh no!" Then she took me to this.
This is Penny we're talking about.
Penny, yeah. She took me to this restaurant in New York on 69th and Columbus. It's not there anymore. Called Columbus. And she introduced a guy, Paul Herman, who's Beansy. He's an actor, and
I'm good friends with Paulie Herman.
You know Paulie, right?
Yeah.
So she introduced me to Paulie, and he talks like this. He was Beansy on The Sopranos, and
yeah, he's
and he used to be a rocket scientist. Literally, he told me, I didn't believe him, but he's a math genius. He goes, I didn't like the lifestyle. So she goes, Paulie, this is Jon Lovitz. Take care of him. So he introduced me to everybody, and I met. That's when I met Brian Hamill, and Danny Aiello. And Brian Hamill was Woody Allen still photographer, and through Brian I met Mike Tyson when he was 19, before he was the heavyweight champ, and
Would have been maybe a couple of months before he became heavyweight champ. Then
a couple months before. Well, maybe 4 months later he was a champ, and
if anybody's wondering,
place I met everybody there. I started going there every night.
Where studio?
No, Columbus Restaurant. It was like a hangout for actors. And it was
I
really fun. I met everybody, and it was almost like the food was okay, but it was like a club really. And there was one part of the restaurant where there was 12 tables, and that's where everybody wanted to be. And I remember one time going in there, and I knew somebody at every table. Hey, John. Hey, it was like a club, a hangout, which I'd never really had. It was so fun. Everyone that was there back then, talks about it. It was so much fun.
So your tables were like all the SNL people, pretty much.
No, they wouldn't hardly go. I mean, once in a while they go. I was me going there all the time. No, I'd be Danny Aiello, the actor. I became friends with him. I met him in the afternoon. He said, "You want to?" I go, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm doing a play at Lincoln Center. When you come by and watch, the House of Blue Leaves." So I go, "Okay." So I went and watched him, and he's on stage, and all of a sudden he started doing this move. And I'm like, is he he's imitating my character, Master Thespian, in the middle of the play. I go, were you doing that? He goes, yeah, that was for you, Johnny. And then there was one guy in it, a kid in it, and I go, he's okay. I think he was great. And it was Ben Stiller. And then later on, Danny goes, you got to see that. No, Ben's really good. You got to see this short film he made. And it was a spoof of A Color of Money. So I saw it, and Ben was terrific, and it was really funny, spoofing Tom Cruise, and Danny was in it. So,
wait, and you knew? Wait, did you know Ben's parents?
I knew who they were. I'd never met them.
Oh,
so maybe that was a few years later. Ben had done that, but he said to me, I was on Saturday Night Live. He was in the hallway, and he goes, "John, this is that tape of that film I did. Can you get this to Lauren?" I go, "Yeah." So I went into Lauren's office and go, "Hey, you got to see this. It's really funny." And it's Ben Stiller. His parents are still married. It's really funny. He goes, "Of course, it's in the genes." So I go, "All right." So and then Lauren watched it and he put it on the show.
The short film.
Yeah, and then Jerry Stiller, whenever I run into him, he always go. He goes, "Did somebody help you?" He goes, he'd always thank me. He goes, "Thanks for helping Ben. You really gave him his first break." And he goes, "Did somebody help you?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Yeah, I thought so. People don't usually do that."
Nobody helped me, but I still help people.
I helped you.
You let me play your club.
Well, not only that, I helped you by not presenting myself as a comic whose parents are from India and from Toronto. I let him do that character.
I mean, you did do it for a little while.
I did, because when you started doing it, I went, "Oh God, I should have done that. Like, look how many tickets he's selling." So, and then I went, "Oh," and then they're like, "Yeah, nice try, John. We know it's you." And crap.
We were supposed to have Dennis Miller on this with you, but John's a diva, and he was like, "I just want to do it alone.
Well,
no extras."
Because I didn't know. First of all, I didn't know you were gonna have Dennis with me. But but I did tend to clam up. I don't say anything.
No, it's
Dennis would. I'd be telling the story. Dennis go, "Yeah, good, Bob, Lovitz, get to the point, Bob. All right, anyway, Bob, and he would just talk over me. I wouldn't get.
Because he was like, "John's one of my best friends in the world," and I was like, "Oh, okay."
No, we're very close friends. Yeah.
Is that who you became closest with from the SNL cast?
Yeah, I first met Dennis. It was '85, and they were auditioning the show, and I got in the Tonight Show from the Groundlings, and got me an agent, Mike Eisenstadt, and he said, "Hey, what about Saturday Night Live?" I said, "Yeah, right." He goes, "No, I'm serious." I go, "Hey, Mike, I have a better idea. Why didn't I land on Pluto?" He goes, "No, I'm serious." I'm like, "Will you just shut up about it?" Because it was just another world to me. I only had one job when I was 25 for 2 weeks on the Paper Chase the second year. That was it. Now it's like 3 years later. But he goes, "Well, I'm going to submit it." I go, "All right, go ahead. Just shut up about it already." But they liked me, and then I met with this guy, Fred Weissman, who was a dentist and got a job casting SNL out of L.A., and I said, "Well, how did you hear of me?" He goes, "I asked Jim McCauley, who booked the Tonight Show, who's good, and he said that you were the best sketch comic in town." I was like, "Me?" I go, "What about Phil Hartman and Tim Stack? Those guys have been in the Groundlings forever, and I really looked up to them, and I just got in the company." But anyway, I met Franken and Davis, and then we keep auditioning. So I ended up, they picked 10 finalists from Canada. They saw everybody in USA, 10 men and 10 women. And from LA, they had myself, Dennis Miller, and Damon Wayans, And the women were Pam Madison, who should have got the show. She was a great stand-up, great singer, great impressionist. She could do everything, nicest. And Jennifer Tilly and downtown Julie Brown. But Julie Brown that had the single, the prom queen is
The British girl.
the prom queen has a gun. No, not the DJ, who I met. She was nice too, but it wasn't her. It was Julie Brown. The prom queen has a gun. So when we fly out from Los Angeles, and I'm sitting next to Dennis, who I'd never met, and he was like, "Man, why do you?" And he had a hat on, and I thought, "Oh, he must be bald." I don't know. That's how I thought. And then he goes, "What do you do?" I go, "I do this character. Like I was in tonight, lying guy, that pathological liar." And Dennis always goes, "I thought, yeah, okay, great. This chump's not getting it."
I should have
And
sat beside
but we
somebody
became
else.
friends, and I saw his audition from the control room, and he was so like relaxed in this. I go, I gotta be like that, and then we became friends on the show. And he's like, "Hey, John, I think you could be a stand-up." I go, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, not like me, but like there's this guy Kevin Meaney, and he's really funny but silly." And so he brought me to Catch Rising Star in New York, and Kevin was hilarious, Meaney, and met him, and
I remember
then
Kevin.
Dennis got up. He was going up, and then I got up. They go, "Jon Lovitz, yay!" And then I didn't know what I was doing, which I didn't. I thought
know,
they
I've
just
seen your
laughed.
act.
5 minutes later, they're like, "Jon Lovitz," it was like one hand clapping, and I go, "Oh, you really got to know what you're doing." I had no idea. I didn't know. I mean, I used to do Woody Allen and Lenny Bruce's routines in my dorm, but not my own stuff. Anyway, afterward, the Dennis goes, "Okay, I got $25. Let's go eat." We were dead broke. I go, "What? You just got up for 15 minutes? They give you money for dinner? Are you kidding?"
Did you
I
get
thought
money
it was the
too that
greatest
night?
thing ever.
Did
What?
you get money that night too?
I was only up for 5 minutes. I was a drama major at UC Irvine, and then I was going to do stand-up, and they were teaching a workshop at the Comedy Store Annex, they called it, where they later built the House of Blues. And Danny Mora was teaching the class, the stand-up. He goes, "Well, if you're coming on a Saturday, it was free." He goes, "If you want to be a stand-up because you want to get in a sitcom, don't do it. They're not hiring stand-ups for sitcoms." And then he goes, "But," I go, "They're not?" "No." Da-da-da-da-da. I go, and I raise my hand. He goes, "Yeah." I go, "Well, you think they would hire you guys? You're really funny." He goes, "Yeah, well, you'd think they would, but they don't." Well, they just hired Robin Williams to do Mork and Mindy. I mean, and I thought he was just saying, like, if you want to be a stand-up, do it because it's, like an art form. You want to do it. And I ran into him later. He goes, "I hear you tell a story about me." This was like a couple years ago. Fraser Smith told him. I go, "Yeah, well, you said, that." I go, "I thought you were just saying, like, no, if you really want to be a stand-up." He goes, No, I really believe that." I go, "But of course they were hiring stand-ups for sitcoms back then." But anyway, so I thought I'll skip that step and I'd go to the groundling. So stand-up was always something I wanted to do. Okay, Russell, you can talk now.
No, I like when you talk. I'm listening because I'm very interested.
You're
so-
listening, and you're also falling asleep.
No, I'm watching the dogs, making sure they're good. In case you guys hear heavy breathing in the background, that's not Paulie and Eddie going at it. That's John's
Oh, there's
lovely
Dennis
dog,
My
Jerry,
dog is very friendly.
and my little toy pug, Piper. And
That picture you've got of Dennis and I, that's at this Chris Everett, the tennis player, has a tennis charity event every year in Boca Raton. So I do it every year, and then Dennis just did it one year.
oh, yeah,
So
you're a big tennis guy.
it was
huh?
really fun to see him there.
You still play tennis, John?
Yeah, all the time.
Eddie wants
In
to
fact,
play.
that's the racket I use. And
Eddie wants to play you.
Say that, but I think so.
well, I
Yeah, but he plays at
not to
Mexicans.
brag, but they rate tennis players at the USTA skills test 1 through 7. 1 is a beginner, 2 and 3 is average. 6 is a college player, 7 is a pro on the tour. So that you do all the skill tests and they give you point. And I was rated a 14.
Wow.
Out of 7.
And I said it only goes to 7. They go, "I know." We don't. I go, "Well, then can I go on the tour?" They go, "No." "Why not?" I'd win. They go, "Right, you'd beat everybody. This is just bad for the sport, the business." Some comedian just comes in and just beats everybody.
Eddie plays
I said,
Mexican.
"Well, excuse me for being good."
Eddie plays Mexican tennis. He has a cousin on the other side of the wall, and they shoot it back and forth.
Well, I'll let you eat the crow in that one.
El Crow. Aren't
There's
you
another photo.
Is that you?
Yeah, I did Annoying Man. I'm eating tin foil.
Ugh.
Well, I want to do everything annoying. People go, "Yeah, eat tin foil." Why? Because I go, people with fillings can't do it. I go, "Oh, I don't have any." But one time I was eating chocolate or something. Dennis goes, "I can't tell where Annoying Man's Annoying Man stops and Jon Lovitz starts. So I licked his face and I was laughing and there was a big chocolate mark on his cheek. He didn't know it.
Wow.
Yeah, see that picture, everything. I comb my hair forward, like you push your hair back. And the glasses are too low and the shirt's loud. But I was also honestly thinking of Jerry Lewis from The Nutty Professor.
It looks like him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to kind of yeah.
Were you weren't on with Eddie Murphy, were you? No.
No, he was before me, but I met Eddie at that restaurant, Columbus, and he befriended me.
Are you still be friends today?
When I see him, I haven't seen him in a while, but I was 27, and Eddie goes, "You want to hang out in this restaurant?" He goes, "Oh, you're really funny." I go, "Thanks." He goes, "Well, you want to hang out? We're going out to the clubs." I go, "Yeah." So he had all his entourage. We get in his car. We go to his club called the Blue Parrot in New York, and it was basically an African American club, and they hung out. But anyway, we go in. And I've never seen anything like it. And in 2 minutes, 30 women were like, whoop, swoop down on him. And I'm like, oh, this is what it was like when Elvis Presley was famous. It was like that. I go, oh, this is a superstar. I mean, I've never seen anything like that before or since. It was unbelievable. And Eddie was just really nice guy. And he, I go, you think I could be a stand-up? He goes, yeah,
Eddie was like 24 then, 23.
I don't know. I think he
24.
was 27, but I
No, he just
Younger?
turned 60 last month. This month, rather.
Well, I'm saying not in 85. I met him when he was 27.
There's no pictures together. I don't believe
No,
you.
but one time
No pictures?
I was at his house, and I don't know what I said. I would make him laugh. And I go, you see, Eddie, you make the country laugh, but I make you laugh. And then he would laugh again.
With this house by you? That house?
No,
Eddie.
no, it was his house in New Jersey.
Ah, that one. I heard about that one.
Bubble Hill, he called it. Yeah, it was beautiful.
Did you go to Bentley's with him at all? Back in the day? In New York?
No, I don't know what Bentley's is.
Another African-American club.
Well, no. I just remember it was called the Blue Parrot. At one time I was in his kitchen, and, it's the Jackie Mason joke. After the show, all the Gentiles will get something to drink, and the Jews will go, you want to get something to eat? So, of course, it's true. So I'm at his house, and I go, hey, everyone's drinking. I go, you might make myself a sandwich. Yeah, okay. And then I said to him, I go, do you have any mayonnaise? He looked at me and goes, you're really Jewish, aren't you? I go, well, compared to you. It was very funny.
Have you been in an Eddie Murphy movie?
No.
Well, apparently you're not
But
friends.
one time I said he was directing that movie. What was it? He directed it. The Royal. It was with Della Reese and Red Fox and Richard Pryor.
Harlem Nights?
Yeah, was that it? Yeah. So
Harlem Nights
I
with
said,
Red Fox. Everybody was in it.
Yeah. So he was. I said, hey, can I come on the set and watch? He goes, yeah. So I got to go, and he goes, have you met Richard Pryor? I go, no. So he goes, John, this is Richard Pryor. And Richard Pryor looks at me and goes, real quiet, he goes, oh, well, you're a very funny man. And I'm like, well, thank you. Coming from you, I mean, that's the biggest compliment ever. I mean, you're the funniest.
Yeah, wow.
But and it was fun. This will all be in my book. How
This
Russell,
is the
called-
audio version.
This will all be in my book called How Russell Peters Stole My Act. I would be playing arenas if Russell hadn't stolen my act.
I can't stop.
When I met Russell, he was a Jewish kid named Ed Schwartz.
How dare you give away my
as can
identity?
be. And I said, why don't you just pretend you're from Canada and your parents are from India? And he went, I'll do it. I was kidding. Little did I know it would sell out arenas.
Well, John, that's how I do things. Oh, John was at one of my arena shows.
Which
He
one?
came in Toronto.
In Toronto. And he goes, why don't you come? I go, where are you playing? He goes, Maple Leaf Garden. Where the
Air Canada Center.
No, but it was where the Maple. What's the team there?
The Maple Leafs play.
Yeah, he goes, it's where the Maple Leafs play. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, I'm doing 2 shows. I go, how many seats? He goes, 15,000. I'm like, are you kidding? And I went, and I just couldn't believe it. 15,000 people, no opener. He comes out, they go nuts, and then it was like to me, it was like a world. The theme of the show was the world. Where are my Filipino people at? Then he does a bit about that. Where are my people from India? And you hear the people cheering. Where's my people from South Africa? Where's my people from? It's like China. I mean, every country. It was fantastic. But one guy selling that many tickets, I was like, oh my God. And it's, Andrew Dice Clay did it, and Dane and you, and now Joe Coy.
And Sebastian. And Kevin Hart.
And, he does arenas?
Yeah, he did that.
Oh, I didn't know.
You didn't know that? You knew
Kevin. No, I know he's huge.
I know, but Kevin did that stadium in Philadelphia with 53,000 people.
No, I didn't know. I've never met him. I'm sure he's a great guy.
You don't know Kevin?
No, I've never met him. No.
I thought for sure you would have known Kevin.
But him too. But it's so rare. It's just like you hit a nerve. And I remember Russell did he doesn't know this, but I said to his brother, well, how did this happen? He goes, well, Russell did a Showtime special, and
I did a special in Canada in 2003.
Yeah. And then he goes, no one really saw it. And he goes, and then somebody put it on YouTube, me. And it was called The Shot Heard Around the World. And I go, oh. And I didn't want to go, yeah, it was me. But it was me. And so I would like.
He's very tech savvy.
I would like my cut.
The very tech savvy Jon.
Okay, who put it on there?
We don't know.
Exactly. It was me.
I knew it. I knew you were always my angel, Jon. Check it out. This summer, I've got shows in different area codes. That's right. I got shows. You get the idea. Anyway, I'm so happy to have a full schedule, but that means I'll be doing a lot of traveling and trying to find ways to entertain myself on the road. And listen, now that there's some semblance of normalcy in the world, you're probably going to be going from place to place more and more frequently too. So my advice to you is take your Raycons with you. Whether you're listening to some 90s hip hop or classic rock or whatever it is you're listening to. Hopefully you're listening to the latest episode of Culturally Cancelled with Russell Peters, myself. A pair of Raycon wireless earbuds in your ears can make all the difference. You get crisp, powerful sound at half the price of other premium audio brands. Raycons look great, but they feel even better. They come in a cool range of colors with customizable gel tips included for a comfortable in-ear fit. Plus, Raycons are built to go wherever you go with quick and seamless Bluetooth pairing and a compact charging case. I love the fact that Raycons are super portable and they have a 24-hour battery life. That means even if I'm flying internationally, I know that they're going to last for the whole flight and rental car drive. Well, maybe not the drive. Just kidding. I'll probably use the stereo in the car. Because there's nothing worse than having your earbuds die on you with no option to charge them. But with Raycon earbuds, I never have to worry about that. So listen up. Raycon's offering 15% off all their products for my listeners. And here's what you got to do to get it. Go to buyraycon.com. That's buy, BUYRAYCON.com/Peters. There you'll get 15% off your entire Raycon order. And it's such a good deal. You'll want to grab a pair and a spare. That's 15% off at buyraycon.com/Peters. Buyraycon.com/Peters.
I remember years ago, happened to be in India, and I met this couple, and I said, you should have a kid named Russell.
I'm listening.
And they said, thank you for that wonderful idea.
Jon was 13 at that time. Mm-hmm. But he was very ahead of his years.
And then I said, maybe you should move to Toronto. That's just an idea. And they did.
And here we are 51 years later.
Yeah. Your mom just told the story of how you got your name last week. I feel
she did, didn't she?
I guess she was
tell
she
the
was
real
wrong.
story
No,
about
she
me
was-
saying name him Russell or no?
No, she was wrong. She was wrong.
Different story.
She remembers it differently, but she's 80 now.
She
so.
made it up. She made up a totally different story.
She did. I mean, it might have been. I think she just misremembered you because she said it was a woman who told her to name you Russell, right?
Maybe your hair was long.
Yeah.
One time Russell called me and he goes, what are you doing? I go, oh, I'm just in LA and, the Christmas decorations ever. Such a special time. Christmas is special. And then he went, Christmas special.
It's true.
Yeah.
I can't deny any of
Next
this
thing I
information.
know, Jon, you want to do my Christmas special? I go, what? Well, there's an original idea. Why don't you just do it in Canada? And you went,
Yeah.
again.
Why don't you just hire Faison Love and Scott Thompson? Even better.
I don't remember that. I said, get Michael Bublé. By the way, you want to hear a story about Michael Bublé?
Yes, please.
The singer. So this friend of mine, Maeve Quinlan, she was in a movie. She goes, you want to come see it? So I go see it, a screening, and another friend, Krista Allen, is in it. She's the lead. And then the other lead was this unknown, and it was Michael Bublé, and he was 20 and heavy. Like a lot. He was a lot heavier. He's lost a lot of weight. And so he was in it. And I met him afterward in the movie. No one knew who he was. He was 20, and he goes, and I said, hey, and he sang in the movie. I go, you're really like a great singer. I think you'll do really well. He goes, really? I go, yeah. I'm not saying it was my idea for him to be a singer, although I am. No, it wasn't my idea. But I remember then I go, hey, you're really a good. But he was completely unknown. And then the next time I saw him was on Russell's Christmas special. And I go, hey, Michael. Hey, John. I go, remember when? He goes, yeah, I did. I go, well, you've done well since then.
Maybe.
Russell Pater. And by the way, Pater in French means fart. Russell Farters.
I do. I tear farts at least.
Well, Pater in French means fart, so Paters is more than one. So your name means Russell Farts.
How dare you?
Well, that's what it means. I'm
Well,
surprised
your last
you
name-
never knew that.
Lovitz means you appreciate things more than just liking them. You Lovitz.
That's right. My name is Jonathan
You
Michael
should
Lovitz.
have
Jonathan, it's Hebrew. God. Jonathan means God is given, and Michael means a gift of God. So I say to my dad, I go, you see, I'm a gift. God has given a gift of God to the Lovitzes. You're welcome.
What's
Can you imagine? He would look at me and go, Dad, what? I'm your son. You're welcome.
What kind of doctor was your dad?
Internist.
As opposed to an externalist?
No, as opposed to a GP, a general practitioner. Every doctor does that training, and then they specialize. He specialized in internal medicine and chest diseases, i.e., the bosom.
How old was your father when he passed?
70.
That's it?
How old were you when you passed gas?
About a day.
Twice in a day. So that's the name Peters.
Was he really 70?
Yeah.
Very young,
Yeah.
especially for a doctor.
Well, he's also a person.
You sing though too, don't you, John?
I do sing, and I've been working on it. So I'd like to share with your listeners some tips that I've learned, which is if you really want to learn how to do something, you need to learn from someone who does it professionally and can explain it. You see. So, for example, you could take a class in college about how to do stand-up, and they're telling you comedy. Or you can ask a comedian or an acting. There's this big acting teacher, and I don't want to say her name, but she's a fraud. And doesn't have one credit. I'll say who it is. She doesn't have one credit. Yeah, and she wrote a book about acting, and Uta Hagen wrote the same book. Uta Hagen was a Tony Award-winning actress, a big teacher at Herbert Berghoff Studios, in New York. He was her husband, and she wrote the same book. It's the same chapter headings. It's identical. And then apparently this kid was taking her class, and I did in this movie Happiness. And she goes, oh, they were doing this scene, and then she said, try to do it like Will Ferrell. And then the guy did it. And she goes, see, if Jon Lovitz had done it like that, he'd still have a career. So of course I was insulted, but I go, first of all, I have 27 credits after that job. Now I have more than that. Secondly, she doesn't know what she's talking about. If you're going to act, you don't do it like another actor. You do it like you would do it, with your brain and your personality and your imagination, not somebody else's. And which is all you can do anyway. You can pretend you're someone, but I go, and thirdly, I go, the director wrote the script. So he has a vision in his head of the movie, the filmmaker, and his vision in his head was me playing that part. And I'm also great in the scene, and I'm known for it. So it's just
What movie?
It's ridiculous. Happiness. The opening scene.
When was Happiness?
And it was a really hard scene to do. It was really written great, and it's really funny and sad, and the emotions are going all over. I'm sad, I'm funny, I'm angry. It goes all over the place. It was a hard scene to do. And Todd Solondz did it. But that's just, anyway, and so I started looking her up. I go, she's never acted in anything in her life. Then I looked at her book, and I go, the chapters, I go, this is Uta Hagen's book, Respect for Acting. She just put the chapters in a different order. It's just like a scam. Yeah. You know, like I'll give you an example. Like if you said who on a movie, who should you introduce yourself to? Someone that's never made a movie is not going to know the answer to that. And I do, and you'll have to. I'll be doing I'm doing a new thing. I'll plug it. It's very soon called. It's funny, but it's true. Acting Schmacting.
Very clever.
On Cameo, and there'll be, if you want to learn how to act, you have questions, you can go there pretty soon. By the time and
Wait, on Cameo?
Yeah, I'm doing Cameo. It's a new thing.
What's your rate on Cameo?
It's a subscription thing. It's
wait, not Cameo.
It'll be $9.99 a month, $10 a month, and then you can ask me anything about acting, and there'll be all these videos. It's just starting it, and it'll be great, and you'll be learning from someone who's done it, and of course. I don't tell people to, which I'm sure people go, oh, you just say be like you. I'm like, no, don't be like me. Be like you. I'm not teaching you to do it like me. I go, that's not what you do.
Well, I figured out who I was by trying to be you. For real.
Well, you figured out you could do impressions, you see.
I can only do one.
Me.
And everybody goes, every time I do an impression, I go, that's Lovitz again. And that's Lovitz. Do Denzel Washington. All right. King Kong ain't got shit on me.
I'm the equalizer. So
is this
anyway, that's my point. So my point was about singing. So I did this TV show. Go ahead, look it up, called Sing Your Face Off. And we had to imitate famous singers. So I'll go, I could do Pavarotti. And then I'm listening to him, and I'm like, I'm an idiot. Why did I say that? He's so amazing. And I sing La Donna Mobile, and I had to hit this high note. That's me as Elton John. And a fat Elton. I look, Elton John. So I go, I couldn't hit this high note. And they had a singing teacher, Roger Love, who's great. But I still couldn't get it. And then I found a video on YouTube of Pavarotti explaining how he sings. I went, oh.
Was it in English?
Yeah, and then called Covered Singing. You can look it up. He explains how he sings. And they go, that's the way you do it. Of course, he knows. Then I found another video, and Roger Love's a great guy, by the way, and a great singing coach, but I wasn't able to, the way he was singing, I couldn't do it. And this show, Sing Your Face Off, it's all over the world in 40 countries. It's very popular. But it's hard to find people to do it because you've got to be able to sing and imitate other singers. And the best one I did was Roy Orbison, and it was like spooky. If you can find it, Russell.
Find it, Eddie.
Farts. I mean, paters. But anyway, my point is, if you want to sing, I said to somebody, well, what does Frank Sinatra do that's so great? And they go, well, it's his phrasing. They can't explain it. And there's a thing on, if you go on Google, go Tips on Popular Singing by Frank Sinatra. And he wrote a book about how to sing, and he explains breathing, which is different than any teacher explains it. And that's my point. And it works like a charm. And if you practice it, and basically he says, every teacher will go, well, you breathe in the air and you push your diaphragm out, you push it in, it's this. Frank Sinatra says, no, breathe in the air through your nose so you don't dry out your vocal cords. And he goes, your chest fills with air, your lungs fill with air and your chest expands. Now he goes, don't let your chest go back in. Now, and that's what your focus is on, your rib cage not going back in. Well, to do that, you have to, you use your stomach muscles, but it's just a different thing to focus on, and it works. And if you combine that with Pavarotti having your throat open and relaxed and just, it's unbelievable. And and then you just practice it every day, and you get better and better and better to the point where Russell Peters says, John, we're doing a whole podcast an hour. I just want you to sing. And I go, no, you're not paying me.
You can sing though.
I
Didn't
think
you-
so. I mean, I try. You know, I never said I'm a professional singer, but I love to sing, and I've gotten to sing with Robbie Williams. My friend got me a job at
In
who's the
England?
biggest rock star? Yeah, at the Royal Albert Hall, and on his album, and I got to sing at Dodger Stadium a bunch, and I've sung at Carnegie Hall. But I mean, I sing way better now because I learned from Pavarotti and Frank Sinatra, the two greatest singers ever. I go, that's who you listen to. That's my point.
I mean, the two greatest white singers ever. Let's not negate Aretha Franklin and all the good ones.
I'm not saying she's not a great singer, but what
I
she
think you're
does is-
wrong.
They're two of the greatest singers ever.
You know, Robbie was living in L.A. for a while.
Isn't he? Yeah, I think he's.
I think he moved back to England, though.
I don't know.
He was huge.
But his address was. I'm kidding. So now, ironically, this is Robbie. He's doing a song Frank Sinatra and Bing Crosby sang, "Well, Did You Ever?" I'm singing okay, and I don't think I'm singing great on this.
I think you sound
I'm
pretty
trying
damn
to. I'm
good.
trying to imitate Bing Crosby. What a swell party this is. I
good.
sing better now. Russell won't eat cow because he's from India. Culturally canceled, politically incorrect. Don't eat a cow. Don't eat a burger.
But I'll eat pork and you won't.
And I won't. It's a different religion.
Enjoy your shellfish. Oh, you can.
I can't.
Would you like a cheeseburger? Sure, but no cheese.
Yes, but I can't have the cheese, and you'll just so I get the beef and you get the cheese, and both of our arteries are clogged.
Yet we're happy. Remember you told me about Hamburger Hamlet. You said that was the best burger in town. Didn't you tell me that?
Yeah,
And now it's gone. Now what's the best burger in town?
well, the kind I like, it's called a hamburger. No, not Hamburger Habit. It used to be called that, Hamburger Haven. But a really great burger is in Malibu, across the street where the little park is. There's John's Garden. There's a little hamburger stand there. Oh,
Where in Malibu?
It's really good, and the fries are delicious.
Where in Malibu? I want to know.
On Webway across. No, is it Webway? It's where the little shopping mall is, the market, right after the bridge. On PCH, before you get to the Colony on the right, you turn right. Used to be the Malibu Market. There's all these little
Malibu
shops.
Inn right there.
No, after out. What's wrong with you? My God! It's where the park is. It's on
What? Park.
Cross Creek. You turn right on Cross
Creek.
Right after the gas station, you turn right off of PCH. And on your left and right, there's little shops. It's on the left. There's a great sandwich place, John's Garden, and then there's a Malibu. I don't know what it's called, but it's a little hamburger place.
Oh, just a little stand, right?
Yeah.
You know it, Eddie?
Yes. I've never had a burger there.
Oh, my God, is it good?
What's good about it?
What's
Is it
good
better
ab-
than Shake Shack?
Oh, my God, yes.
I love Shake Shack.
I get it. I get Shake Shack, but it's better.
Thin or thick burgers?
Thick.
I don't like them too thick.
Not too thick. Of course.
You sound like a Gap
We
employee.
could go about. Well, you've never been in too thick, have you?
I am fairly thick.
That's what happens with me and women. It's always the same complaint. Too thick.
So I've been fortunate enough to have the Helix mattress. Let me tell you, it's incredible. I took the Helix quiz, which is what you'll do, and I was matched with the Midnight Lux, which happens to be their most awarded mattress, because I wanted something with a medium feel, and I tend to sleep on my side. And let me tell you, it's amazing. It's made with luxury memory foam that's specifically designed to offer pressure point relief for side sleepers, like myself. So now I don't wake up with sore hips or shoulders anymore, because I got huge shoulders. I'm a very masculine guy. And Helix makes it really simple to find the right mattress. If you're looking for a mattress, you take the quiz, you order the mattress that you're matched to, and then the mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. You don't ever need to go to a mattress store again. You can't always avoid getting sad, but you can avoid mattress stores that make you sad. Just go to helixsleep.com/Peters. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to a customized mattress that will give you the best sleep of your life. They have a 10-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll even pick it up for you if you don't love it. But believe me, you will. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/Peters. That's helixsleep.com/Peters for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows. Sleep well, my friends.
Hey, what was your favorite movie that you did?
Oh, changing the subject.
I just want to get to the beef.
You're a comedian. Look at that segue.
Speaking of
Not.
segues, do you have one?
Well, that cigar. I like League of Their Own was a blast, and City Slickers was fun. Probably League of Their Own. That was really fun because...
Oh, Penny put you in that.
Yeah, I love baseball, and I love women, and I love old movies, like making a movie in the 40s. And then most of the cast, I knew everybody. I knew Penny, your daughter Tracy. You know, I'd lived at her house for 2 summers, and I knew them really well. I knew Tom Hanks, I was friends with, and Gina Davis, and Madonna had hosted Saturday Night Live. I knew them. And that Madonna was there for 2 weeks. So it was just, I knew everybody. So it was really fun.
And Rosie?
And the part was written, I'd never met Rosie O'Donnell, and that was her first movie. She was so new. We went to go see her do stand-up, and she started imitating me on stage, and she goes, I can't believe Jon Lovitz is in the audience watching me right now. That's how new she was.
Did she say it like this? I can't believe Jon Lovitz is here.
No, she's like, Jon Lovitz. She goes, get to know me. I don't know. She started imitating me like that. Jon Lovitz is here. How are you? I don't know. She started imitating. I met Lori Petty for the first time. But I only worked the first 3 weeks of the movie, and then they let me go.
Can you blame them?
Yes, I can. No, they didn't let me go. My part was over, and they let me go. What am I saying?
I think
But
you just...
when the movie came out, I felt so proud to be in it. Oh, this is a funny story. So then they had the premiere in New York at the Ziegfeld Theater, and then they had a party at this Tavern on the Green, which I don't think it's open anymore. It's a huge
It's
restaurant.
gone.
In Central Park. So I'm sitting at a table with Regis Philbin, who I knew from Columbus, and so I'm sitting next to Regis, and I got a lot of big laughs in the movie. So Regis is going, John, you're a big star now. You're a big star. You know that, right? I go, I don't know. He goes, well, you are. You're a big star now, John. Look, John, there's Robert De Niro. Don't look, John. I'll look for you. You're a big star. He was really funny. And then Stuttering John was on Howard Stern then. And I see him walk up to Regis and say something. And Regis is like, God damn it, get the fuck away from me. Just like exploded in anger. And he walked away. And I said, what did you say to him? He goes, I asked him if he had a big penis. And
Who'd he ask?
Regis Philbin.
Asked who?
Stuttering John. You're not even listening. You're on your phone, you dick.
I'm listening to messages. My wife...
I'm talking on your podcast.
My wife wanted to know if your dog's balls were
We're
neutered.
in the middle of a podcast. I'm talking to you, telling you a story, and you're not listening. Maybe we should change the name of the podcast to Not Listening.
That's how many listeners we have.
And my guest is, what's your name? Yeah. How did you get started? And then they say, and you go, Russell, where's he going? He has to go to the bathroom. Now he's swimming in the pool. He's upstairs. I'll come in later. Don't worry about it. And then you add in later. That was a great story.
Is Jerry neutered?
Yes.
I just don't want him fucking my pug. That's why.
He's laying right there outside. He's not.
No,
Your
'cause
dog's nowhere in sight.
we want him to go in and play with her, but we didn't want him humping her. She's a virgin, you know.
I'll go in and play with her.
Hello.
Yeah, he's been deballed,
Deballed.
just like you.
Go in, Jerry.
You can go in. Go ahead.
Your
My
leg.
dog Jerry's a rescue
Really?
dog. Yes, from a rescue pet store that no longer exists, but he's a rescue dog, and best thing I ever did. He's fantastic company, and he's very. He boosts my confidence. Like today, we're coming over here, and I go, and I'm like, guess where we're going? We're going to Russell Peters to do his podcast, and he's like, you're funnier than Russell.
It's true.
I go, no, I'm not. I'm funny. He's very funny. That's the thing about comedians. I go, who's funnier? I go, I don't know. Everyone's funnier in their own way. I can't do what you do, and you certainly can't do what I do. I'm kidding. It's a joke.
You know what movie I enjoyed you in? Great White Hype.
No, I don't know because I'm not psychic. Well, it's funny you mentioned Great White Hype because the director was Reginald Hudlin.
I'm friends with Reg.
Well, I just ran into him today
Where?
at the bank.
Counting
when I was
all your
depositing
money.
My trillions.
I'm going to text him right now.
No, I swear to God, I just ran into him today. And that's me and Sam. That was the third time working with Sam. And my part really, I maybe had one line, so I had to. Reginald goes, let's just improvise. Reggie said that. I call him Reggie Hudlin. And he let everyone improvise, and so I had to make my part up. But Sam was such a great actor. I have a scene where he's screaming at me. And I thought he was really mad. I go, are you mad at me? He goes, no. I go, oh. I really thought he was pissed. But Sam's a great guy. I met him doing a movie, Lethal Weapon 2.
See, you've been in a lot of great films.
Thank you. Well, I feel fortunate. You know, they're fun to do. That movie was really fun. I'll tell you a story about that movie. On the set, there's like Sam's office, like at an office and a living room to his office. And there was a white piano on the set. Anyway, Jamie Foxx was in the movie, and he had a pretty small part. But he was sitting at the piano during breaks, playing the piano, and just kind of singing to himself. So I was standing there listening. I was blown away. He said, I play piano, but not like that. I go, geez, you sound like great. You should make a record. I mean, you really sound professional. I had like an idiot. I had no idea that he was a music prodigy in the high school and got I think he got a scholarship for music to college. And
Jamie's a very insanely talented person.
He was just singing real soft to himself. I go, man, you sound like you should make a record. Yeah. And of course, he listened to me like you. Well, I'm not saying I gave him the idea. Obviously, I didn't. But I didn't know. But he was like, I didn't know he did that. Oh, that guy is so talented. I ran into him. I said, hey, I saw the movie Ray. I go, I think you should have got 2 Oscars. One for the music and the playing and one for the acting. I mean, he was unbelievably great in that. So great. And,
he just won another Oscar on the weekend. Jamie.
For what?
Soul, the animated movie.
Oh, he did? Oh,
Yep.
I didn't know. For what?
Soul,
Voiceover?
the animated movie.
No, I know, but what was the Oscar for a voiceover?
What am I, keeping tabs? I don't even have
well,
one
you're the
Oscar.
one who saw I saw the last hour of the show. I didn't see the whole thing. But he's a great guy. You know, certain people, they become huge and they retain their humanity, let us say. They don't get arrogant. They become nicer. And I always say, to me, it's a mark of a great character when someone gets like that and they're still just, hey, a regular nice guy. And, people say, well, of course they're nice to you. That's the thing. Once you do successful, anything that the times someone's nice to you or a girl likes you or a woman likes you or a dog, well, that's because you're you. I go, of course they're nice to you. I go, so if I wasn't me, they wouldn't be nice. I go, no, they're nice people.
No, people are nice.
Except for
people are nice to you, you son of a bitch.
Russell Peters.
How dare thou?
Russell Peters. You can hear that?
I'm very eerie.
You don't have the headphones on and I'm whispering. Everyone in town's very nice, except Russell Peters. You can hear that?
I have super hearing.
I was just testing. You don't have your headphones on.
See, John's so good, I don't actually know how to continue the conversation because whenever John and I hang out.
Well, I'm trying to be entertaining. I could just shut up.
Well, here's the thing. I don't know how to not be John when I'm hanging out with John.
You can be John.
I can't stop it.
When I was in college, I had a great professor, William Needles, that taught me Shakespeare. He was like, he was like a father figure. He was a great guy. And I was maybe 19.
Don't say he was like a father. You had a father.
19. He was 59. I said, a father figure. So anyway, I said, Mr. Needles, do you think I could be an actor? He goes, yes, Jonathan Knight. You have everything going for you except your voice. You really need to work on your voice. Because I would slur my words and talk fast. And talk as fast as I think. So I'd be like, hey, what do you do? Hey, Russell, what you want to get? Oh, wait, no. Yeah, never mind. Okay. And like, what? I used to talk like that.
You used to mumble?
All the time. I would just like go, hey, I was thinking, what if you, no, okay. like that. And you go, what? I was just saying everything I was thinking, which, you
That's what
can't-
comics
it's
do.
Too fast. Yeah, but I was like, you think fast. I was saying it that fast.
So you taught yourself to
Well, I was
speak.
unintelligible. You couldn't understand a word I was saying.
Like now.
Like this. Hey, Russ, could we get what? Oh, yeah, never mind. So anyway, ironically, I thought my voice was nothing. Like actors would have these great voices. How do you do? And like this, and I was just like, hello, nothing. I thought it was nothing. Like there's nothing about my voice that's unique or distinct. And next, people are imitating. And I remember one time Phil goes, it's so funny. Phil Harmon goes, every time people get around John, after a couple minutes, they start imitating him. I said, yeah, why? I taught this acting class. Fraser Smith, an actor, a comedian, asked me to teach it. So I tried it. And this one guy, Lauren Paul, and a really nice guy, he goes, how do I do what you're doing? I go, what do you mean? He goes, well, how do you think of talking like that? I go, like what? And he goes, and then he goes, that. I go, what? I don't know what you're talking about. He goes, that. I go, what? Oh, he goes, that. I go, that's just me. But that's how my mother would talk, and not my grandmother.
Your mother really talk like that?
My aunt really talked like that. She's my mom's younger sister. She sounded more like I said, you sound more like my mom than my mom. She sounded, because it was her older sister. So,
I don't want to be the one to tell you
they're
this.
4 years apart. And I said, you sound more like you sound like you're doing it. She sounded like she was doing a caricature of my mother.
What was her name?
Aunt Sandy.
I'm here to tell you that Aunt Sandy is your mother.
I don't think so.
I hate to be the
She
bearer
would
of...
call me up. I swear to God, my Aunt Sandy, she goes like, I go, hello? She goes, John? Yes, this is the aunt. She talked like, I go, I start laughing. I go, you sound more like my mom than my mom. Do I? Well. And that's how my grandmother would talk.
Are you an only child?
No.
How dare you?
I don't really talk about my family, though, because my personal life, because it's personal, and it's their lives, you see. So I don't.
Right.
See, John, I
I
just
don't
want to know which
expose.
sibling you are.
The youngest.
Of course.
Do you feel like I know that's your voice, but do you feel like when you've been other characters that you've been imitating people in your life or like getting inspiration from people in your life?
Oh, yeah. My mom, Woody Allen, I saw Take the Money and Run when I was 13. And I said, well, I don't want to be an actor, but I sure like to date young girls. And then I saw the movie Lenny and Woody Allen. I actually got meet him through Brian Hamill, was a still photographer. And I finally got to meet him. And Brian goes, John became a comedian because of you. I'm like, stop, Brian. He's like, oh, I finally influenced somebody, And then I got to hang out on his sets. And he'd never let anyone do that. And Brian's like, no, Woody really likes you. And I got to hang on his sets. Oh, it was my comedic idol. I was thrilled. It's why I became a comedian. And I have a picture. Someone took a picture of me hanging on a set. And I said, when I was, and I had these black glasses like him. I go, I was always worried people would think I'm just imitating you. I go, but I read you had that problem with Bob Hope. And he goes, no, Mort Saul.
Mort Saul.
Because I started doing stand-up, and people said if I could just get rid of my Mort Saul mannerisms, And what's thrilling about, I think, finally doing well. Yeah, then 5 years later, I got to be in his movie. There we are.
Which one?
Well, it had no title. It's called Small Time Crooks. But when we were making it, there was no title. It was just on the thing.
What the hell was wrong with your leg in that movie?
WAFT, Woody Allen Fall Project. I'd broken my leg skiing in April, and the premiere was like a month later, and I just got an operation. So they're having the premiere, and I go, I'm going. I'm not missing this for the world. I don't care about my leg. So I was on crutches because I'd broken my leg skiing.
That Hugh...
in the Olympic trials, and I qualified. But then I skied the next day and broke my leg, and that's why you never saw me in the Olympics.
Hold on. Jamie Foxx is calling.
My mother used to say, if you don't... My
What up, Jamie?
Go talk.
Listen.
Go talk, baby.
Hey, Jamie, how are you?
I'm good, man. Y'all, it can't be that much funny and intelligence in one place, baby. That's not fair right there. That's
I
a
know.
lot of history.
He was asking me about the Great White Hype, and then I said, a funny story. I go, Jamie Foxx was in it. I go, and he actually had a pretty small part, which you did. At the time you were working your way into movies. I go, but there was this piano on the set, And I remember you playing it and singing. I was standing next to you, and I was like, wow, you really, I go, I play piano, but not like that. Wow, you should, and you were singing. I go, you should make a record. You really sound professional. I didn't know you were a music prodigy. I found out years later. I had no idea that you were like, that was your thing in high school and college. And I
But you know what I was trying to do, man? I was trying to just get it all, man. I was trying to let you see me, man. I was like, man, you checking out my moves, man. I was like, I'm going to give it all, baby.
Oh, yeah. But you were singing. I don't know if you remember that. You were singing soft. But he brought it up because I ran into Reggie Hudlin today.
Yeah.
At the bank.
That movie was tough, though. That movie was tough. That premiere was tough.
You know, my favorite scene in the movie is, you ain't my daddy, are you?
Yeah,
hey,
man.
Congrats, Jamie. We were talking about you winning another Oscar.
Oh, man, listen, man. Look, I share that with us. And what I mean is, anytime a comedian can break through on that side, I share that with all us, man, because I still think it's a weird chip on our shoulders. It's like sometimes when you look at, like, you guys are great and stuff, some of our performances, since we do come with so much, funny, sometimes, they sort of overlook us, but, man, like...
Yeah, but you're
anytime we poke holes like that, man, that's for us to step through.
Yeah, but you're kind of like hyper talented. Like, it's ridiculous.
Man, well, I appreciate it, man. But like I said, man, I'm always humble.
Well, I don't know anyone that does characters like you did on a Living Color, in Living Color, and then you do yourself, and then you do dramas, and then you sing at the highest level. And
yeah, but you know what? Where the characters
it's
came
like
from.
It's unbelievable. I mean, you're on. I remember I did say to you. I don't know if I saw Ray. I saw it in my house, and I finally saw it. And I go, oh man, you should have won 2 Oscars. That's how great you were. One for the music and one for the acting. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Well, man, I thank you. But you know what's interesting? Like when we were doing A Living Color, a lot of times I wasn't the main guy when I first got there. So I would just work on characters, just staying in character and just working on them. And Keenan taught me, like, if you ain't great, you ain't nobody. Being a black comedian. So I would always just try to, like, get in them characters and just swing away. So, it's look. It just it pays off sometimes. Like I said, that's the payoff. What happened on Sunday, man. But like I said, I share it with you guys, man. Because the minute I saw
I didn't see when you won. Congratulations. But did you win? Was it for like, I don't know what it was. It for best voiceover? I mean, you were.
No, it's for best animated film, and it was the first African American lead in a Pixar film. So it was the first. There was a lot of firsts in it, And at first I didn't know. I didn't know that there was no such thing as a black person not being in a Pixar film, but because, when we was coming through in Living Color, we were just doing our thing. I was never really asking or questioning if we were doing our black thing. We were just doing our thing. But I thought it was just great that they acknowledged that.
You're saying in Finding Nemo, in Finding Nemo, none of the fish were African American?
There were no black fish out there, baby.
There were no black fish?
Well, there was a documentary called Blackfish, but that was not the same.
What about an orca?
It was that.
What's that picture? Oh, is that?
You still in Atlanta?
Oh, that charity.
Man, I'm in Atlanta, man. Look, we are in the gym, man. We getting it right now.
Where the fuck is Dave Brown at?
Dave Brown in there trying to cook. He almost set the house on fire. You know what, Dave? I said, Dave, either you take 50 or 50 takes you. He's literally FaceTiming his daughter, doesn't know the technology. The fish smells like kerosene. I told him, do you want to open the door? He said, somebody's at the door. I said, no. No, you need to do one thing at 50. One thing.
But I have a question for you about, I haven't seen the Pixar movie. I want to see it. But I said this the other day. I said, movies that Robert Evans, the producer, used to say, we'd make a movie and it would tell the studio how to sell it. Now the sales team tells us how to sell it. So I go, and then they don't work on the script and the story and this. I said, but Pixar, their movies are always great because they really work on the story and the 3 acts or the whatever, and they work on it and make it great. And did you find that with you, which I haven't seen your movie, but did you find that the story was like, this is such a great story? I'm going to
be honest with you. It's sort of like you're in the dark a little bit because it's they have their vision. So I would go in the booth. First of all, I was doing facial expressions. There's like Pete Doctor's like, Jamie, we don't see your face. We just on your voice. And so, but they started like they would even film me doing like some of the actions and stuff and sort of like put it together with it. But you really don't know, man. But one thing I can tell you about Pete Doctor, he's a genius. I mean, think about all the Oscars that he's won, and then with Kemp Powers and Dana Murray, and then that whole incredible cast, man. You don't know until you know. And when I tell you it came out and it was, I think it's like over 2 billion streams now. The highest
Over
stream,
2 billion?
2 billion.
Holy shit.
It's
That's
crazy.
amazing. That's crazy.
So, like I said, man, it's just look, man, us, man, we just keep following. We just keep coming. And then next thing you know, it's going to be us, all of us in the movie, man, doing our thing, because it's time. It's time for us to bring comedy back. I saw somewhere where they were talking about, like we gotta sound the alarm of, like, we're still entertainers. We're still playing characters. I know they was talking about people playing characters, and I think they're taking it too seriously. Like, somebody was doing another character where they had to gain weight or they had to get small. I don't know what it was, but I'm like, that's what we do. We just want to keep the entertainment,
Right. I mean, I did a stand-up show, and they're going, you can't say this. No one said my age is, man, you can't say this. I go, well, now I have to. And I go, that's a comedian. You say, you can't say that. And I go, well, now I have to. I go, and that's our job, is to make fun of whatever. I make fun of myself. I make fun of everything. And then when they go, you can't make fun of that. You make fun of that. I'm like, well, why not? I go, that's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, man.
I don't even think supposed to. That's just how you are naturally in me. And then you go, oh, right. And then you go like, oh, I want to do this. This is like this is how I am.
Yeah, man. And the thing is that, the comedians didn't fuck up the world. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there are other people that are actually, like, doing the most they can to mess the world up, while we're putting some laughter in people's belly. And so, man, that's why I appreciate you guys. Listen,
Russell,
we're
are
the
you
last truth teller?
Russell, are you writing this down? Are you learning anything?
I'm waiting for Jamie to put me in something. I ain't been in shit.
Bro, let's write something. Let's do it, baby.
I got some great ideas. We just need your backing.
Listen, I got that deal with Sony. They looking for comedy like a mofo, and I got that deal at Viacom. Man, we can get whatever we want, bro. It's us.
Count me in. You're the one with the deal. I'll work for you.
John's gonna play my mother.
I'm very funny.
Bro, I'm serious. If we don't do something tomorrow, like, let's get on the phone tomorrow and get something.
I'm telling you, hey,
all right.
That movie you told me about, I'm not going to talk about it right here, but the movie you told me about is fucking incredible, and I want to help you write that shit.
Come on. All right, guys, listen, I'm going to let y'all go, man, but I just had to tap in, man, and tell y'all, man, I appreciate the greats.
Hey, man,
Thank
we appreciate
you, Jamie.
kid.
Nice talking to you.
All right, baby.
Peace, Jamie. Bye, Mr. Bishop.
Russell, do yourself a favor. Listen to everything that Jamie and I just said. Please write it down. Study it for
I'm
yourself.
calling Reginald Hudlin.
You need to know what. Everyone's going to take me serious. Like, I can't
How's the
believe you
Academy
let him,
Award winner
I
calling
can't
us
believe
and
you let
Reginald
John
Hudlin?
talk to you like that, Russell.
We deserve to know what we're putting in our bodies and why, especially when it comes to something we take every day. Ritual's clean, vegan-friendly multivitamin is formulated with high-quality nutrients in bioavailable forms your body can actually use. What you won't find? Sugars, GMOs, major allergens, synthetic fillers, and artificial colorants. Plus, the fresh taste and delayed-release capsule design make taking your vitamins easy. Sometimes supplements have that chalky taste, which I'm aware of, but Ritual capsules are actually pleasant tasting when you put them in your mouth. They're actually refreshing. It's helped me get in the habit of taking my vitamins every day. I like putting tasty things in my mouth, so if a vitamin is tasty, I'm just more likely to take it. Ritual is the multivitamin reimagined. A multivitamin should contain key nutrients and forms your body can actually use to help fill gaps in the diet. No shady extras. Nobody likes a shady extra just standing there not serving a purpose. Anyway, Ritual's delayed-release capsule design delivers high-quality nutrients, including vitamin D3 in just 2 daily pills. And Ritual makes healthy habits easy. Your multivitamins are delivered to your door every month with free shipping. Always. You can start, snooze, or cancel your subscription anytime. And if you don't love Ritual within your first month, they'll refund your first order. You can't lose. Get key nutrients without the BS. Ritual is offering my listeners 10% off your first 3 months. Visit ritual.com/Peters to start your ritual today. That's ritual.com/Peters for 10% off your first 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Like,
Shit. Reginald's getting his hair cut.
Hello again. We just spoke to Jamie Foxx, and now you. He didn't believe. I just saw him. He asked me about the Great White Hype. I go, I just ran into Reggie at the bank. Didn't I?
Isn't it nice that we're at the bank? That's not so bad.
Yes.
Place to meet.
What are you? You getting a haircut, or is he painting your head?
Both.
We were just talking about.
Podcasting? What's happening over there?
Doing my podcast.
I love it. Well,
I
look
love
at
it.
You got all the ballers over there. I love it. You got Jon Lovitz. Say no more.
I mean, you should be here too, Reggie. It'd be amazing if you were here.
You just let me know. I'll do it. I'm in.
All right, fine. I got a movie idea. Great Brown Hype.
I just love the idea of you guys being brothers. Oh my
I agree.
Yeah.
We should do the movie Twins over.
Yes. You two as
We could be
twins.
we kind of do look alike a little. We could say same mother and different fathers, or vice versa. You know, although I get very, you know,
I was put up for
very
adoption.
tan.
Exactly. And you become wealthy on your own, and he squanders the family inheritance.
I think it'd be funny if I grew up in the hood, but I
Well,
still
I don't
talk
wanna-
like
We
John.
don't have to make a movie about.
What up, cuz?
We don't have to make a movie about my actual life.
Keep it cribbing, cuz.
Oh my God. You guys are the
How are you
best.
getting a haircut? You're bald. You're not bald. Your hair is literally 1/8 of an inch long. What are they cutting?
I'm not naturally bald. I have to work to look like this.
Oh. Oh, he's shaving your head. If your hair was
Where
any
are you,
shorter,
Reg?
it would be inside
I'm
of
in my
your scalp.
backyard.
Well, come to my backyard.
I wish I've got a house full of kids.
Bring them with you. I got a
Nah.
pool.
Yeah, but make sure you
There you
eat
go.
beforehand. I got here.
There
Russell
you
goes,
go.
you want
That's
something to
the
eat? I go,
fix.
what do you got? He goes, curry. Curry what? Anything. Curry chicken, curry hamburgers, curry.
Curry hamburger.
Curry Pop-Tarts.
All right, well, we just hit you, and then Jamie called us right away, and then I was like, I guess Jamie's calling. And then I looked, oh shit, Reggie called us back too.
There you go. It's all love, my friends. Have a great weekend.
You too. Thank you.
You too, young fella. We'll talk to you later.
Goodbye. I don't talk like that. Ridiculous.
Bye, Reg.
Can't believe you made fun of me.
I would never.
How-
It's rude.
Yes, how rude.
I'll tell you something, John. When I was with my friend, my girlfriend, maybe my wife, Morgan Fairchild.
Who I've seen naked.
Have you?
Andy Breckman, who wrote the movie Rat Race, he was writer on SNL. He came up with that joke. That was the funniest joke. My wife, Morgan Fairchild. Then he added, who I've seen naked. His wife. She, by the way, one time I was at the show and my agent's assistant calls, Morgan Fairchild's calling for you. And I go, yeah, right. And it was her. And I ended up, she was really nice. She goes, thank you. It's so funny the way you do it. She says, well, if I'm ever in New York, I'll take you to lunch. So she came to New York and she took me to lunch and we left this restaurant together. And this is right when my liar character was like, it was at its peak. And we leave the restaurant and some guy saw us walking out, coming in, saw us together. And he went, my God, it's true.
Oh, that's perfect.
That was my favorite character in all of the SNL's history.
Naturally.
First
First of all, it was funny.
Oh, you want to hear
And
funny?
secondly, it was me.
You'll appreciate this. I went to dinner the other night.
I don't buy that for a second. but
I've
go
eaten
on.
once or twice. I went to dinner. I saw David Spade at the restaurant. He was on a date, as per usual. I
When
said,
was
hey,
the-
David, what's up? And he looked at me and goes, how you doing, pal? And I went and sat down, and I was like, he didn't know it's me. And then at the end of the night, he got up and goes, all right, see you, man. And I go, when was the last time you talked to Egan? He goes, Well, I'm going to see him tomorrow. Why don't you text him and you saw me and we can. That was his way of going, so I know who the fuck you are.
When was this?
2 days ago?
2 days ago?
2 days ago. He had no clue it was me. And I've done his fucking TV show.
So it was a Wednesday?
It was a Wednesday. I saw David Spade at Koi.
Who was
having dinner.
Interesting. I'm good friends with David. We play golf a lot together.
Well, maybe you can tell him I saw
We're
Russell.
playing tomorrow.
Well, tell him he did.
He didn't know it was you?
He had no clue it was me. I knew it. I saw the look in his face. It was blank. I really don't think he recognized me.
Well, look at your hair. You've got a whole new hairdo.
I had a hat on.
Half your hair is missing.
How dare you?
It's not even a hairdo. It's a hair went away.
How dare you?
And, you know, they shaved the bottom half of your head, and they go, "What do you want us to do with the rest of it?" You go, "Just give me a hairdo."
Glue it on the front.
You've literally got a live growing toupee.
I keep planting my own hair. I'm going to have a proceeding
Why
hairline.
Why did you shave the bottom of your head?
So they
above
wouldn't
the
convince
ear?
me. They wouldn't confuse me with Jon Lovitz.
It's like that's like that they would do in the army.
I've never had long hair. Like your hair to me would be extremely long.
If I had your hairdo, I would not leave the house.
Yet you leave with that one.
I'm only saying that because you were making fun of me, and now the tides have changed. The tides have turned. Jarhead, that's your hairdo.
How dare you?
Look, who do you think you are? Jake Gyllenhaal?
I'm Jake Gyllenhaal Way.
You're a jarhead.
I'm very much a military man.
Thank God you didn't see the movie Gandhi.
How
God
dare you?
knows what you would do with your hair then.
I was Gandhi.
I know.
They
I didn't
subsequently
even,
gave
and by
me
the way,
award.
it just occurred to me that Gandhi's from India. I didn't even make that connection. I just see you as Russell. And then I went Gandhi, and I went, oh, he's from India too. Didn't even think about it.
I'm Mahatma Russell. There's something I haven't told you. John.
Well, you could be my guru. This is my guru.
You know what's funny? John and I have
Jarhead.
friends in common that are like friends who are like, how the fuck do you know them too? Chuck Zito and I are very good friends, and Chuck Zito and I will call John whenever we're together.
Well, I met Chuck in New York.
Back in the day.
Yeah, in Columbus.
Same restaurant.
Who else do you know that I know that people listening to this would not be interested in?
Paulie Herman.
Paul Herman. Yes, that's right, Paulie. How do you know Paulie?
From
He knows
Chuck
Chuck
Zito.
Oh, from Chuck? Yeah. And you know Mike Tyson?
I do know Mike very well.
Oh, you know who else you know that I know? I don't know. I don't know her well. I've met her like twice. Your daughter.
You met her at 10 months and 10 years.
Yeah, I was blown away. That's when that photo of Dana Carvey and I. Look at him trying to eat my ear. Isn't that funny?
I got a photo of him trying to eat my ear same way.
But he was so nice. This guy Michael Politz, who has a online food and beverage magazine, got me the job, and then Dana and I did a stand-up show at the SLS, and he's very good friends with Mike, and Mike came, and as you can see, Mike likes me. But not fun. We met in 1985 before he was the world champion, and that was the amazing thing about being on Saturday Night Live in Columbus was just meeting all the people that you watched, growing up, and all the people, and then everyone goes, what's the best part? I go, well, on the show, getting to do scenes with these great actors, and then meeting all these people and asking them about what they do. Do you want to hear a funny story about that?
Yes, please. Finally.
So
something
when I would always
interesting.
listen to Billy Joel's 52nd Street, and he had that.
Side note. Are you friends with Billy Joel?
Well, can I finish the story?
Sorry.
So rude. Guess your manners went away with your hair.
Side note.
So then.
I can't believe for a former drug delivery man, you're this rude.
So, I know. So, I always listen to 52nd Street, and he had that song, My Life. And he talks about this is my life, and there's, I had a friend who went to L.A. to be a stand-up.
He was talking about Richard Belzer, wasn't he?
I don't know.
Yes,
but
he
he
was.
just sang that song. I never knew that. So he's singing that song, and I go, yeah, and I'm trying to struggle, and I go, yeah, it's my life. I'm going to be in comedy, not a stand-up, but, Anyway, I go to Columbus all the time, and in walks Billy Joel, and he says, you know Lydia Cornell. I go, yeah. He goes, oh, my God, you know Lydia Cornell.
From Too Close for Comfort?
Yeah. I said,
Did you
yeah.
know that?
He goes, oh, my God, I had the biggest crush on her. because there's a place called Caribou Ranch in Colorado, and Lydia was the receptionist, and Billy used to be there recording songs. Because Lydia, I go, you're married to Christy Brinkley, for God's sake. What are you wrong? Anyway, we talked for an hour and a half. I go, I'm such a big fan of yours. In my life, I listened to it all the time. It was an inspiration. It kept me going. It really did. And I go, what about this song and this song? And we're talking for like an hour and a half. And then in walks Brooke Shields, who was at her peak and just is 36 years ago. She was like, I don't know, she was in her 20s. She was stunning. And at the time, she was considered the most beautiful woman in the world. So she sits down at our table. So I start talking to Brooke for like 10 minutes, and Billy leans behind her. She's sitting between us. He goes, hey, John. I go, yeah. He goes, weren't we like having a thing? I said, yeah, but it's Brooke Shields. I couldn't help it.
I'm a big fan of yours. However, I don't want to fuck you.
It was very funny. But yeah, I became friendly with him. He's a very nice guy. Very nice.
I want to ask you a question. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to.
Is it about the Jews?
Who's the most famous woman you dated? I have none, so you could win this easily.
Well,
that's public knowledge.
You know what?
That's public knowledge, though.
You know what? I know. Let me text her. Hold on.
You never dated anybody famous, Russell?
Porn stars and shit.
Hold on. Okay, she said I could say. Okay. Wait, hold on. Are you sure? Oh, no, okay. Are you sitting down? She said it was okay.
It's okay.
And then she goes, nobody will believe you anyway. Queen Elizabeth.
I knew it. I heard about this in the tabloids.
Well, I don't talk about my private life, but I will tell you who. Because she talked about it. Was Janice Dickinson. And I said, Janice.
The supermodel?
Yeah. I go, well, we were friends and we dated for like a minute. And then she says, let's just be friends. I go, okay. And then a week later, it's all over the papers. I'm her new boyfriend. I go, I thought you said we were just friends. Now I'm your new boyfriend. And then she says, my nickname for John is Big Dick. And I was mortified. Not that I was an asshole, but that I had a big dick. And I go, what are you? And I go, I don't talk about that stuff. I was mortified.
Look
and
at that,
then,
John.
Yeah, there we are. And my manager goes, oh, it's the best publicity you ever got. And I was mortified. I was like, yeah. And I go, that's like private. But now, I'm 63. I'm like, tell everybody. Can't get a fucking date.
You know, the irony is the picture we pulled up is you guys at an event that was sponsored by Pfizer. Because they make Viagra.
And the vaccine.
Who cares about the vaccine? They make Viagra. Well, after a short break, John's dog Jerry jumped up on the couch here and threw up on my cushion. I think there's no better way to end this episode than vomit.
Well, he must have seen you do it.
You son of a bitch. Well, John, they learn from watching their master.
Thank you, you bastard.
You bulimic son of a bitch.
It's been a pleasure, you cocksucker. Thanks for having me on your show, you son of a bitch bastard. God damn you to hell.
That's our episode of Culturally Cancelled with Jon Lovitz.
Thank you, Russell.
And he was great, and his dog Jerry has bulimia.
I know.
He's a very LA dog.
I don't know why he threw up. I just gave him some of the chicken your wife just offered me, which I also ate.
Today's episode was Jonathan Michael Lovitz.
Thank you.